A 17-year-old boy calls into a podcast and reports that he had been SA'd by his adoptive father since he was 11 years old, along with many of his brothers. Today's story comes to you from Texas.
I've been hearing his prayers, his brother's prayers, and definitely hearing my prayers.
Tawaya Paynes was put in an unexpected position at the end of last month when a teen boy called into her podcast reporting that he and his 8 brothers were being sexually abused by their adoptive father.
But he was afraid.
The teen wouldn't say who he was or where he lived. Charging documents say he told the podcaster that he planned to wait until he turned 18 in just a few days to take action against his father. But based on the egregious allegations the teen made during the 45 minutes he was on the podcast, Payne says she knew she had to find help for him right away.
The father of 9 boys is in jail, charged with horrific crimes. He is accused of abusing one of those boys who called into a podcast trying to get help.
And now we're learning it's not the first time the so-called father has been accused.
Previous case involves a foreign exchange student who is from Spain, placed in this man's home that had 9 other boys. He was 16 when the alleged sexual abuse happened. He is suing Cohen, who was out of jail on bond in his case when he was charged last week with even more horrible crimes.
A monster. I mean, it's just disgusting.
Attorney Sherry Chandler filed this lawsuit in 2021 against Hayim Cohen on behalf of her 19-year-old client, who was a foreign exchange student placed in the Cohen home in Southwest Houston. He arrived in 2018 when he was 15 and soon, Chandler says, became a victim.
It started in the first semester.
The abuse turned physical the next semester, and her client made an outcry at school, she says. He was removed from the house, and in 2019, Cohen was charged with indecency with a child. Chandler says her client always worried about the other boys who remained in the home, despite the allegations.
We all suspected that the other kids were getting abused.
According to the charging documents, one son called into a podcast and opened up about the sexual abuse he said he and his brothers endured. He is 17. It started, he said, when he was 11. Behind closed doors, the 38-year-old made them perform sex acts on him and each other, records say. Publicly, Cohen promoted what he called his unique family on his blog and social media. The teen told the podcast that CPS had been to the house 8 times, and after each visit, he either bribed the boys or scared them.
In addition to the scare tactics, Cohen used a wheelchair and was hooked up to an oxygen tank that he did not need, according to the teen.